guys, welcome to part 7 of my M272 Engine Timing Repair series. In part 6, the major items I covered were the timing cover installation and cylinder head installation. The timing of the engine is not complete until the cam adjusters are installed correctly. So in part 7, I will install all the cam adjusters to complete the timing of the engine and start putting the finishing touches to this job. In this video, I will switch back and forth from voiceover mode to speaking mode. Let's jump right in. Prior to installing the adjusters, I loosened the auxiliary bearings to make the cams easier to turn. As you will see shortly, this will make the adjusters easier to install as well. I installed the intake cam adjusters first. I did not do a good job of capturing footage of installing the intake cam adjusters, but thankfully they are much easier to install than the exhaust, so I will use some snapshots to explain how to do it. All I had to do was line up the copper link to the letter L on the camshaft adjuster as shown here. The L here indicates left bank of the engine. You can see the copper link hiding here as indicated by the arrow. Lining up the other copper link to the R on the other camshaft adjuster is all that was needed to get both intake adjusters sorted out.
So next thing I'm going to be doing is install the exhaust cam adjuster. So these two lines here, they need to line up with this one line here. Okay, so we need to line them up like so. Okay, while this goes on like that. So again, we need to be able to spin this camshaft while we do it. So I'm gonna take my tool, put it on the back side of the cam, and then I'm gonna be able to turn it back and forth like that. You can see me turning it while I try to install the adjuster. And remember, again, this pin needs to go in that hole right there, and there's another notch on top of it. Okay, right here, you need to line up with this hole and that notch. So don't be confused by the second hole here. It's just this hole and the notch on top of that hole.
Next, it's time to install the last timing chain guide. It is not unusual to have some chain tightness while trying to install the last chain guide. To get past this tightness, when installing the final chain guide, you will need to rotate the right side intake camshaft like I'm doing here to give you some slack in the chain to allow the installation of the guide. Have your pin installation tool at the ready so that you can slide hammer the pin in once the timing guide lines up with the hole.
There's the other one. Again, we're gonna have to line up these two lines here with that. There's actually a point with that point. Okay, like so. So this will have to line up with that dot. We need to turn it like that and line it up so that this pin goes into that hole.
While doing this, the camshaft should not be fully tightened to enable it to be moved back and forth for easier adjuster installation. I could not find my footage for this, but here is an important reminder before we proceed from here. Don't forget to pull this pin off to fully seat the adjuster. You might need to rotate it a bit while pulling to get it to come off. After the adjusters were installed, I installed the centrifugal oil separator. The seal looked pretty flat, so I replaced the entire oil separator with a new one. They are not expensive. Next, I tightened the auxiliary bearing caps. Those need to be torqued in 2 stages as shown. While there is no angular number next to stage 2, I went with half of 90 degrees, 45 degrees. After the bearing caps were torqued in, it was time to clean the cylinder head mating surface in preparation for the valve cover installation. The harmonic balancer went on next, and it's meant to be torqued to 200 Newton meters or 148 foot-pounds. The valve covers were next on the agenda. Remember to be gentle while cleaning the mating surfaces. After the valve covers were cleaned, I proceeded to lay the gasket maker on the cylinder head surface in preparation for the valve cover installation. The gasket maker is the same as I used for the timing cover, Loctite 5970 or equivalent. The recommended bead thickness is between 1 mm and 2 mm. Next, I installed the valve covers. It can be tempting to skip bagging your bolts, but it doesn't get better than having all your bolts together in a labeled bag when you are in the middle of an installation. Don't forget to install the oil separator on the valve cover. Installation of the pulse wheels were next. Mercedes-Benz recommends replacing them as they can get sheared off during removal. I did not replace mine as they seemed fine upon close inspection. They have letters on them to indicate their corresponding cam adjusters. The initials are directly translated from German and are a bit counterintuitive, but here goes.
L, left, L for left, A for exhaust. So, L, right here, left, exhaust, AR, right, exhaust, EL, left, intake. That's counterintuitive, isn't it? ER, right, intake.
The pulse wheels are fastened to the cam adjuster and the camshaft by threaded center valves. Note that exhaust center valves are left-hand threads and the intake center valves are right-hand threads. I fasten the center valves by counter holding the camshaft at the rear with a torque socket. The center valves must be torqued to a healthy 140 Nm or 103 foot-pounds. Just FYI, that is not much different from the lug nut torque specs for this same vehicle, which have only 7 foot-pounds on the center valve bolts. The engine was pivoting too much sitting in that V position while I was trying to torque the center valves, so I turned it upright, and after that it was easy like Sunday morning. This was a good time to remove the flex plate locking tool because the next step was to install the chain tensioner. The steps involved in installing the tensioner require turning the engine counterclockwise and then clockwise. I lost some of my footage here, but it's pretty straightforward, so let's go through the steps. Step 1. Install the tensioner to 70 Nm or 51 foot-pounds. Step 2. Turn the harmonic balancer about 10 degrees counterclockwise while counter holding the left bank exhaust with the torque socket. This unlocks the timing chain tensioner. Step 3. Turn the harmonic balancer about 90 degrees clockwise. The pressure pin is pushed out and it tightens the chain. And that's it. Of course, you will need to check your timing before and after you have made the repair, so over here I am putting the front covers back on temporarily to check the post-repair basic timing again. I explained this in more detail in part 1 of this series. In that video I also went over what trouble codes necessitate that you check your timing. Next, I cleaned the front covers to prep them for installation. Before I installed the front covers, I knocked the timing chain guide pins back in. After the front covers were cleaned and ready to go in, I lay a 1mm to 2mm bead of Loctite 5970 on the mating surface prior to installation. Remember that the sealant should be applied no more than 10 minutes before installation. The camshaft solenoids and the camshaft position sensors went in next. I recommend oiling the sensor a little before installation. The O-rings on them can become unseated if the sensor is too dry during installation. All pulleyed accessories go in next: water pump, alternator, power steering pump, etc. I'm only showing the water pump installation. In the interest of keeping the video short, I won't show installation of the other components. They're also pretty straightforward to install. But if you have any questions about them, please leave your question in the comment section and I will do my best to answer them. And that is how I draw the curtain on part 7. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications. See you in part 8.